Few instruments carry the same energy, excitement, and cultural weight as a dhol. With its deep thunderous bass on one side and sharp, crisp treble on the other, the dhol is more than just a drum. It's the heartbeat of celebration, identity, and tradition. Originating in the Indian subcontinent, the dhol has deep roots in Punjabi folk music, dating back centuries. Historically, it was played during harvest festivals like Vaisakhi, where farmers celebrated their hard work with music and dance. Over time, it became the driving force behind Bhangra, an energetic dance form that spread beyond Punjab and into the global music scene. But the dhol is more than just a folk instrument, it's the heartbeat of South Asian celebrations. Beyond weddings, the dhol is a staple at festivals like Diwali and Holi, adding an electrifying energy to gatherings. It's the core of Bollywood-style dance performances and even in modern fusion music. It blends seamlessly with electronic beats, hip-hop, and reggae to create something entirely new. To truly understand the power of the dhol and what makes it such an iconic instrument, I had the chance to sit down with a dear friend of mine and one of the best dhol players in Montreal, Anmol Singh. Not only is he known for his electrifying performances and deep knowledge of the instrument, but we spoke about his learning process, his personal connection to the instrument, and the techniques that make the dhol such a dynamic and expressive drum. Mr. Anmol Singh. How are you?
How long have you been playing dhol for?
I started around that 10 years. I started learning dhol, but I was kind of like just forced by my parents in a way because they made me take classes. You know, my parents telling me to, hey, you should do. There's this dance called Bhangra in the Punjabi community, which is very known.
Right.
And Punjabis are like known for that.
Yeah, that's
right?
it.
Even the dhol too. Dhol is really like the heart of the Punjab, you could say.
That's it.
But so they were kind of putting me into it, and I did take a couple of classes, and they really saw that I didn't like that.
Right.
So they made me stop, and then I have a very close cousin of mine, which he's based in Toronto, and I used to see his he plays very well, and I used to always look up to him, and I was like, this is like a really cool instrument.
Yeah.
Like I want to get into this. Yeah. I told my parents about it. I even spoke to him.
Yeah.
And they all encouraged me. Like, go for it.
Like how was the process of learning the instrument for you? Like when you were growing up?
I would say it's no difference than any other instrument.
Okay.
Right. So every instrument has their own language, right?
Right.
So every syllable or every bowl, you could say, has their own name and has their own way of playing it. For the dhol specifically, bowls you would have them in different different syllables. It's like a little group of syllables,
right?
And then you would call it a bowl. So that's one bowl. And if you can say it, you could play it.
So I guess that's the other thing too, is that like that the oral tradition is like very much more.
It's very much alive, man.
And that's like that's the other thing with like a lot of like Indian instruments too, is that I find that it's less like, you know, here's your homework kind of thing, and more like okay, you have like a teacher and they explain it to you orally first, and then you kind of process that, and then once you feel like okay, you understand the language behind it, like in the first place, then you apply it to the instrument.
So, exactly, yeah.
Cool.
So that's how I learned. I had the oral part of it.
Yeah.
And once I got comfortable with the bowl and the syllable and everything, I actually played with my hands for the longest time. My hands alone. I would have them on my actually anywhere. Yeah. Anywhere at the desk. Yeah, anywhere, man. You could just do the same thing, And so I used to go da na 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 na, and just that slowly interpret into the instrument itself. Yeah. It really helps. It really helped me.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So how about let's just go through all the syllables?
Yeah, of course.
And just
of course. So Chalbi, you have the bass side, which you call the gate.
So that's
one time.
Okay, so that's
a gate.
On top of it.
That's it. Yeah, it's very similar.
Okay.
So you have a gate on this side, and then you have a na.
Yeah. So na is like right hand. Yeah. Okay.
Which is also the same thing. Yeah. You have a bass and you have a treble,
right? Right.
So you have a na.
Oh shit.
And then you have. So you see, you have you see if I hit it right at the corner, it would produce sound. And if I hit it like that, it would produce another sound. Yeah, exactly. So just that.
Okay.
It's his syllable the whole time. Na, na, na.
Okay.
Now for the treble side, you have a gay, like I said before. You also have a gate, which remember I was telling you that flick.
Right.
So if you do that flick, you get that sound. If you remove that flick and you hold it quite hard, right? You would hit it and you want to hold it there, and that would produce a K. It's much more flatter.
So, yeah. So it's not ringing out.
It's not ringing out, exactly. You keep it in there.
Okay.
So that's it. So K, 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 K. Okay. If you hit both of them at the same time, you get a dot.
Right. So the syllables are coming together now.
They're coming together, exactly.
Okay.
And if you do a kin, it would be. Oh. And so for chal, I'll show you how to play slowly, how it's played slowly, and then I'll produce.
Bring it up to the speed.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. As you see, I'm always having that motion at every single hit.
How would it sound like at normal speed?
So there's another one that's like very played very often. It's called Bhangra.
Bhangra.
Yeah, Bhangra is played
Straight up Bhangra.
Straight up. It's called straight up Bhangra, right?
Okay.
I'll show you how to play slowly again.
That's it. Because when you slow it
down, I'm
like,
you're so confused.
I'm like, okay, no. I've heard that's all the parties.
There's another one called a Gitta.
Gitta. Okay.
It's very similar to the Bhangra.
Okay. And you would hold it in a particular way, which is with your. Now it's really important for you to move your wrist and not your fingers. Okay.
See, if you move your fingers, you play maybe like 2 minutes and you get tired. So you don't really want to use your finger. You want to use your wrist.
Okay.
So it's always a wrist movement at all times, never fingers.
Okay.
This daga is used for the bass side, which is underneath. I'll show you in a bit.
So what?
It's usually made out of a goat skin. This particular one is made out of goat skin.
It's actually goat skin, or is it like
It's actually
synthetic?
goat skin.
Wow,
No,
okay,
it is,
that's
it is.
crazy.
Yeah, I think this would apply more to the drumstick
Right.
side, because this is, I don't know how you hold the drums, but if you hold this, which I'll show you in a bit, you don't want to have this like in a, you want to use it as a fist,
Right.
but you don't want to have it really like, you want to put a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah.
You want to put a pressure on the first two fingers. So when you do that, and when you hit, you see it, the movement is, it wiggles, so much more easier. And this is the best way to make a bass noise, right?
I see.
So you just do that, and you hit it one time, you get that bass noise. As I was saying, like that flick, right?
Yeah.
If you just do the flick, right now it's not tight, so it doesn't produce any bass.
Right.
You see these strings, right?
Yeah.
They're there to, the more I tighten, the tighter this side gets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you like when you tune it? Or
So
whatever?
yeah, exactly. When you, this is a part where, you know, before performing or before practicing whatsoever, the first step would be to really tune your bass side.
Right.
There's different Dhols that come in that would also demand tuning on the treble side.
Okay.
Which this one too does, but not so much, because since it's nutted, bolted on.
Yeah.
It doesn't really require. Although you have to do it every once in a while.
I see.
But you would find some Dhols that you would see also some string both sides.
Okay.
It's just a different way of having your Dhol. And then same thing for these strings. Sometimes you would have some that go from the bass side to the treble side.
I see.
So when you tighten them up, you have both sides loosening.
Right.
This is really when you get at a very, very higher level.
Okay.
That's when you want to get like both stringed. Correct.
So the question is like, why is Dhol such an important part of like our culture, but also like, why is it so important in like weddings?
Yeah.
Like, why is it always there? You know what I mean? Like that's like, but that goes with any instrument, obviously, right? But like in your prep, like in your experience and everything, like why is it used in so many?
So I've had clients, honestly, they would book me, and then halfway through they would be like, oh no, we actually don't need it anymore, right? This, just to conclude, it doesn't mean that, you know, without me the wedding won't happen.
Yeah.
Even DJ wise, there's no DJ, the wedding will still happen regardless if you want it to happen. It's just another extra, like an extra bonus, an extra kick that you would get at your wedding reception.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Yeah, and just with any drum too, I would say that it's very much a community.
It is.
It brings everyone together, right? So especially with a drum this loud, it's not a double. I mean, double can be loud, sure, but it's like to this element of like.
So it could get pretty loud. Yeah. Definitely, it brings a lot of people together too.
That's it. This brings everyone together, man. I think that's like out of all the instruments, man. Like this is the one you just. And that's the thing, like even you were playing it, I was like, there's so many memories that I associate with like those beats. You know what I mean, it's like at any wedding I've been to or whatever, like you hear, like the most prominent was this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. These are the most prominent beats I've just played. Yeah, even Punjabi music, man, you would hear it.
Yeah.